Tom Hallian is calling balls and strikes today. And he does so on an 84-degree afternoon that feels very summer-like, not spring-like today.
It's 84 degrees, but boy, down in the field it feels more like 100. I was down there for batting practice, and it's a little bit humid. The wind might have kicked up a little bit, which will help. But it's an 84 that feels a lot more like 94.
The Yankees have been hot, too. Derek Jeter with an 8-game hitting streak. And even though Alex Rodriguez isn't hitting for batting average yet, the fact of the matter is, Tag, that the Yankees have won 13 out of 17 since A-Rod has come off the DL.
He's made his hits count. He's had a lot of big hits for the Yankees, most of them home runs. 10 hits, 7 home runs, and a double. 2 singles.
Jeter sends one towards the alley. Nelson Cruz sliding to cut it off. Derek Jeter has doubled to start this 3-game series.
Jeter got a good look at the fastball in that at bat because Matt fell behind 3-0. Threw a 3-0 fastball for a strike and then a 3-1 fastball. And Jeter, after looking at 5 of them, had a pretty good feel for the fastball. And as he loves to do with that inside-out swing, went to right center field with it.
The Rangers have won 8 straight games here at home. Strike one to Johnny Damon. And again, overall, the Rangers now 9 games over 500. They've got a 3-game lead in the West. These Yankees 1 game back in the East. 0-2, a better start than 3-0. Mark Teixeira on deck. Tapped off the glove of Davis. He's crawling after it. Harrison to the bag, not in time. And Mark Teixeira will bat with runners at the corners and nobody out.
And that was ahead in the count, 0-2. Maybe a little bit better pitch than he was trying to throw. Damon's a veteran hitter. He's trying to get that ball outside. Got it on the outside corner. But I think he might have wanted a little bit more outside than that. But nevertheless, a good job by Damon pulling the ball on the ground with a man on second base and nobody out.
And now the interesting confrontation between Harrison and Teixeira. They were part of a deal between the Braves and these Rangers. And Tex will slash it to left. He returns by knocking in at least one. Damon will go to third and stop. It's 1-0 New York, and A-Rod coming up. And you hear the booing for Alex Rodriguez as he steps in.
They're trying to get that ball in and pretty much got right down the middle of the plate. And that was the case with Matt in his last start in Detroit. He was throwing the ball well, but he didn't locate his fastball like he did in his 4 straight wins. He got some balls out over the plate. The Tigers ended up hitting 3 home runs, and so far today that's kind of been the case. He's tried to make some pitches with his fastball, but he's missed out over the plate, and the Yankees have taken advantage of those mistakes.
Those numbers are correct for Alex Rodriguez. He recently pronounced himself the happiest 200 hitter in baseball. He is now, got to be ecstatic, hitting 189. But as you said, Tag, those 7 home runs already. He's only been back a couple of weeks.
There's the fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's what he's trying to throw to Tex right there.
Already 560 home runs, and as we all know now, there's a lot of talk about that home run tote board being tainted. In play, Elvis Andrus. Got Alex Rodriguez. No, they say Davis is off the bag. Nothing going right yet for the Rangers today. A-Rod an infield hit, as it turns out. And it's already 2-0 New York.
It's 2 infield hits on 2 0-2 pitches. Damon the same thing. I think he was on the bag myself.
We've been enjoying watching the splits from Chris Davis. Got a veteran umpire there at first. Jerry Crawford said that Davis was off the bag. It's 2 on, nobody out, 2 runs in, and Robinson Cano to the plate. Strike rings the outside corner. So as this big crowd is still settling in, the Yankees, who lost in extra innings yesterday, out to a very quick lead. Pass the mound. Kinsler's got it. Needing to turn this one. The Rangers do double play. And Tag, you talked about it right off the top. Defense has been really the big reason for the Ranger turnaround this year. It leads to better pitching, obviously. If you're turning those double plays, that can settle down Matt Harrison.
That wasn't a simple double play. It's kind of a chopper up the middle past Harrison. But Ian gives a good feed to Andrus, who takes his time and nipped Cano at first base. They definitely needed that one.
With a runner at third, Melky Cabrera taking a strike. And since beginning 3-0 on Derek Jeter, it's been 12 strikes in a row from young Mr. Harrison. Until that one. Melky Cabrera had a very poor season in 2008. His all-star caliber so far here in 09. Outside corner, 2-2. Got another switch hitter on deck, Nick Swisher. That last pitch tantalizingly close.
Tantalizingly right in the middle of the rectangle, too. Should have been strike 3.
In play, another chance for Elvis Andrus. 2 on the board for the Yankees. It could have been a lot worse. The double play really helped. Phil Hughes on the mound. He will have to face Kinsler, Young, and Hamilton when we come back. have a quick lead on Matt Harrison. Now Phil Hughes to the mound for the New York Yankees. Again, the Yankees in with a record similar to the Rangers. Game on at 25-19. The Rangers starting lineup presented by Southwest. You've got Kinsler and Young. Michael still battling a sprained ankle, but he's good to go today. Hamilton and Cruz, Blaylock and Bird, Davis, Taylor Teagarden, and Elvis Andrews. And Tom, the last time Phil Hughes pitched in this ballpark, he had a no-hitter into the 7th inning.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, and he hurt his hamstring and didn't pitch the rest of the year. He's 2-2 this year. His ERA is over 7. He's averaged less than 5 innings per start, giving up a lot of home runs. And he's pretty much, in his last couple of starts, pitched a little bit better. He's given up 3 runs in each of his last 2 starts, but he's only pitched 5 innings in each of those starts. He had the hamstring injury in 07. Last year he had a stress fracture in his ribs. And so 72 innings one year, 34 the next. He spent a lot of time on the disabled list the last couple of years.
Last year was supposed to be the big coming out party for Phil Hughes. It didn't happen. He was hurt. He was ineffective. He was winless in 8 starts with an ERA of 6 3/4. This year the ERA is 7. It is a perfect day for baseball. As you mentioned, Tag, a trifle on the warm side, but got a crowd of about 49,000 shoehorned in here today.
Hughes has had a bad combination in his first 5 starts. 13 walks in 21 innings and a number of home runs.
Kinsler gives it a ride towards right center. These are the top 2 home run hitting teams in baseball, the Rangers and the Yankees. The Rangers have one more than the Yankees right now at 73-72. The Yankees have played 11 consecutive errorless games. And that's pretty remarkable. Here's what they're running out there. Again, Derek Jeter's DHing today. And the Monterrey, Mexico native Ramiro Pena is at short. Actually 101 innings since the last New York Yankee error. I think the right word to describe the crowd today, Tag, is festive. You know, I mean, it's coming back from a road trip. The Rangers were gone for a week. Played great baseball in Houston. And even if the Rangers had been on a downtick, it's the Yankees coming to town, and everybody's just flat fired up.
And it's a holiday, too. You tend to have a festive crowd on a holiday.
The barbecues can wait. It's some daytime baseball first. The Rangers doing a great job honoring on Memorial Day. Had a great ceremony before the game. Michael Young racing it to the bag, and Phil Hughes beats him there.
Cano has a lot of range for second base. We talked a number of times this year about the outstanding second baseman that we have in the American League. Cano's right up there at the top. Great range, strong arm, terrific player.
Josh Hamilton lined an opposite field home run yesterday. Rangers won that game in Houston 5-0 behind Brandon McCarthy. McCarthy went right at the Astros and I guess kind of defying conventional wisdom, Tag. I mean, somebody's got to get moved out of the rotation when Padilla comes off the DL. The way McCarthy pitched, it was almost like he was saying, well, that may be true, but it ain't going to be me.
Well, it's a problem the Rangers haven't had very frequently.
Looking to go opposite field again is Hamilton.
Too many starting pitchers.
Yeah, that's a nice problem to have, isn't it? Rangers down in order. The Yankees by 2 at the end of 1.
member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation, right, Dale?
Well, Jim, we're really proud of the way our guys play on the field, but we're equally proud of the way they play off the field in the community. They're very giving of their money and of their time and of their hearts, really, to the community. Been for many years, and now for the first time ever, we're allowing fans to be part of that community effort by joining in a membership program, and it's $25 a year. And you can go to TexasRangers.com/membership and sign up today.
All right, so TexasRangers.com. Ranger fans can sign up and help make a difference in the community. Appreciate it.
Be part of this team, too.
There we go. All right, Dale, good seeing you. Thank you very much. Josh?
Thank you, Jim. Nick Swisher lines to center, and there's quickly one out. Remember, Matt Harrison began his day 3-0 on Derek Jeter before he's been a strike-throwing machine since then.
The Yankees hit 2 balls hard in the first inning. Jeter and Teixeira both had doubles. The other 2 hits were just infield hits that were one off the handle by Alex and the other one off the end of the bat by Damon. So he threw the ball well. Just got a couple of fastballs out over the plate.
Missing outside to Ramiro Pena, who's been a nice find for the Yankees. He was in Double-A all last year. It seems kind of unlikely in a way, I guess, Tag, but I mean, here are 2 teams with 2 of the best records going, the Rangers and the Yankees. Both the starting shortstops in this game were at Double-A last year all year.
Well, this kid this kid's not going to be playing too much shortstop. Jeter just getting an off day as the DH. This guy's their utility infielder. Our 20-year-old's a starting shortstop.
And a very probable rookie of the year at this point. I know it's early, but Elvis Andrus leading American League rookies in pretty much everything right now. Hits, runs, total bases, on-base percentage, slugging percentage. And that doesn't even mention the defensive wizardry. Matt Harrison strikes out Ramiro Pena. It is kind of weird, I guess, in a way, Tag. I mean, you feel like you know the Yankees lineup top to bottom. And in this inning, it's Pena and Cash instead of Jeter and Posada as the shortstop and catcher. You mentioned Pena's just kind of in for a day. The Yankees had to survive most of last year without Posada. This ball chipped in a right, base hit for Kevin Cash. To bring up the guy that you hear more about on this Yankee team, Derek Jeter. Probably in about 3 months, Derek Jeter will have the most hits all time as a New York Yankee. He will pass Lou Gehrig. Already the most at bats as a Yankee, and of course he's been to the postseason an incredible 13 times. 13 out of 14 years in the big leagues to go to the playoffs. That's pretty good. On the ground, Michael Young has got it. Scrambles to his feet, throws out Jeter. And the Rangers coming up when we come back. into 777-111. Enter to win a catered party for 20 from On the Border Mexican Grill and Cantina. Tag, you and I were just talking off the air. Nothing looks better than this park full up. And there's an overflow crowd here today.
I think that's true of any big league park. The hometown, home crowd means a lot to the players, and players love to play in front of a full house.
Nelson Cruz is going to put one in the alley in right center. The first hit that Phil Hughes has given up here at this ballpark in 8 innings of work. Leadoff double in the bottom of the second.
And Nelly Cruz is definitely heating up. He was hot early, cooled off a little bit. And on this last road trip, he swung the bat exceptionally well. Had the game winner in Houston. Then he hit 2 home runs, knocked in 4 of the 6 runs the next day. And he brings it right over into our ballpark for the opener of this homestand with a line shot double the other way.
Our Geico quote, Nelson Cruz. Yeah, his swing is there. Blaylock takes outside. Cruz and Blaylock each with 11 home runs this year. Ian Kinsler, the leadoff man, leads with 12. Not unusual, Tag, that you and I would be talking about a Ranger team with a bunch of guys that can bash home runs. But again, the high-quality part of 2009 so far is all the other cool stuff we can talk about, like the pitching and the defense. Inside it, hit Blaylock up near the shoulder.
I was trying to throw the ball up, trying to get it on the inside part of the plate. Just got it in a little too far, a little too much up. You see the catcher holding his glove up and in. And that's what Hughes was trying to do. Certainly not trying to hit anybody in that situation. Hopefully Hank's okay. Rangers get a base runner out of it.
Not quite up to the meat of the shoulder there, more like the tricep. And a chance for Marlon Byrd. One of his most memorable home runs was against these New York Yankees last summer. Another one inside. The walk-off grand slam last year for Mr. Marlon Byrd against the Yankees, and boy, that broke a long losing streak that the Rangers had had here in this ballpark against the interlopers from New York. Rangers ended up splitting that series with the Yankees last year, 2-2.
Good hitters count right here. 2-0, 0 in on a fastball. Pick the spot you want it and let it go.
On a day when the ball should jump a little bit. Warm and humid here in Arlington. Chris Davis waits on deck. It's 3-0.
I mentioned that Hughes had walked 13 batters in 21 innings coming into the ball game. Going to get a visit from the pitching coach right here.
Dave Island. Longhorns football preview tonight at 10. Colt McCoy was here today. Announced to the crowd. There's a strike to Marlon Byrd, 3-1. Colt McCoy, first pitch. You got to figure it's going to be near the plate anyway, right? A 3-step drop back in the pocket there and let her fly. Oh, Byrd had a good rip. Straight heat, but he fouled it back. 3-2.
Let's see if Hughes could throw 3 straight strikes. Here's strike 1. This is strike 2. Marlon's had a good rip at it. He's seen some fastballs. Should see another fastball right here, so it's still a great hitter's count. Not sure Hughes would throw something other than a fastball right here. If he does, he might have a pretty good chance of fooling the hitter.
Now strike 3 on the outside corner. Marlon Byrd not happy.
Made a good pitch. Zipped it right on the outside corner. Good pitch.
Tom Hallion, the home plate umpire. I'm sorry, Tom, but that was ball 4.
Well, actually, it was near the strike zone, but not near enough to be a strike. Boy, I hate to get called out on that pitch. Nobody out, 2 men on, ball's 3 inches outside. Instead of the bases loaded and nobody out, stays first and second with 1 out.
That one's way outside to Chris Davis.
That's why it looked like such a good pitch.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a strike.
Boy, and again, yeah, you're right. I mean, not to be a couple of whiny hometown announcers, but bases loaded, nobody out would have looked pretty good.
Well, good. One thing good about the tracker, though, it takes the whiny out of it, because we're just stating what the tracker showed. We're not whining.
And sometimes when we do say, where was that? You know, we go, oh, okay, well, it was a strike.
If it shows it's a strike,
right.
We'll be the first to mention it.
Davis with a foul.
That would have been a good one to hit right straight to shortstop. The shortstop was standing on second base when that ball went to the hitter.
Chris Davis getting it done defensively. And you figure the offense is going to come back around. He snapped an 0 for 25 yesterday with a base hit. But he's still helping the Rangers plenty with the glove. Contact has been the biggest issue for Chris. He leads the majors in strikeouts. But he's got 10 home runs. And last year against the Yankees, in only 24 at-bats, he had 10 runs batted in. Runners going. And Davis is out, but it's a double steal. The Rangers pull off their 7th successful double steal of the year. And boy, with Davis, the batter, that is courageous, because again, Davis is making the least contact in baseball among everyday players in baseball, but the Rangers sent 2 runners.
Well, it's the element of surprise as well as good base running. Ron Washington wouldn't allow this play if he didn't feel like they could do it easily, and Hughes is not paying any attention to the runners. He doesn't expect this, so they get an excellent jump, and even with a left-hand hitter up there, they stole those bases easily.
Nelly Cruz now 8 for 8 stealing bases this year. And it, you know, when you look at it now, that's a smart play, because Teagard just kind of flares a single somewhere. The Rangers tie the game. Ball and a strike to the native of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Taylor Teagarden, from out of Carrollton. Says he used to come see the Rangers-Yankees games all the time as a kid. Breaking to the inside corner, 1-2. Teagarden waves at it. Has to be thrown out at first. And is. The Rangers had 2 on, nobody out, and then 3 consecutive strikeouts to keep it 2-0 New York. He's had 2 runs in before the Rangers got an out today. And the Rangers seem to be on the comeback trail in the bottom of the second. But boy, Phil Hughes helped by a wide outside corner on Marlon Byrd. He struck out the last 3 batters in that Texas Rangers second inning.
Well, Hughes in his last start pitched 5 innings, but struck out 9 batters in 5 innings. So he's got pitches that he can strike you out with. His fastball, good fastball, 92 miles an hour, but he's also thrown some pretty good curveballs, especially at the end of the second inning. Didn't see any early, and a slider.
After Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez for the Yankees. Of course, those 2 were teammates here with the Rangers not too long ago, putting up staggering numbers. If you look at Teixeira, Tom, he had 499 runs batted in as a Ranger, and not even 700 games played. Down the line, that's fair. Johnny Damon having a heck of a season so far. Nelly Cruz over to get the baseball. But it's a double for Johnny Damon. He's 2 for 2. And up comes Mark Teixeira.
First baseman Mark Teixeira.
That's a second ground ball. Damon's hit toward first. Hit one to Chris's right for an infield hit. And then he pulls this one by him over the bag down the line. That's been really tough on left-hand hitters, but Damon's off to a good start in this game.
Now the switch hitting. Mark Teixeira will golf one down the line. It's foul. Of course, this past offseason, there was talk of Tex going home to Baltimore to play. Maybe staying in Anaheim. Maybe burying the hatchet with the Red Sox and signing with them, but nope. $180 million to wear the pinstripes. Only the Yankees, Tag, could spend $48 million a season just on their corner infielders. That's what they've got with Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez. Florida's entire payroll is half of what the Yankees first baseman and third baseman makes.
Well, then you've got Jeter makes about $19 million. Sabathia, whatever he's making, he's out of now.
Well, the Yankees' run of consecutive playoff appearances ended, as we've talked about, at 13 last year. So that's what the Yankees did. That's what they do so well. They spent $250 million in one day this past year to sign CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett for 7 years and 5 years, respectively. Then they go ahead and bring in Teixeira to add to, yeah, like you say, Jeter and A-Rod. So the whole downturn in the economy thing, not so much with the Yankees, apparently. You spend $250 million on pitching in a day and a half. Teixeira checking his swing, and he's on. Alex Rodriguez coming up.
Third baseman Alex Rodriguez.
Our Dodge Grab Life feature, we will hear from Chris Davis later. Right now, it's A-Rod. And Tag, I don't know of an athlete with more natural talent and charisma who has ever bungled superstardom like Alex Rodriguez has very recently. Line shot, left field. He is letting his bat do his talking. Since he's come off the DL, it's talking real loud. He's got 3 runs batted in today. Check that, 2 runs batted in today. 2 of the 3 for the Yankees, who do lead 3-0.
Good job of hitting right there by Alex. It was a cut fastball. Pretty good pitch, really, on the inside part of the plate. Looked like it caught the inside corner. Then a well hit ball down the left field line for a double.
There aren't a lot of hitters that get pitched inside more, I would think, than A-Rod. He's learned how to turn on that kind of a pitch very well. So second and third and nobody out. Robinson Cano, who hit into a double play in the first, will take it to left field. It's a base hit. And the Yankees add to their early lead. It's going to be 5-0. The ball rattling around on Bird. He'll pick it up, spin, fire in. Andrus, no throw. 3 bases for Cano.
On the pregame show, we kind of featured the first 4 hitters in the Yankees lineup: Jeter, Damon, Teixeira, and Rodriguez. And between the 4 of them, they already have 6 hits and a walk, and they've scored 5 runs. Well, they're hot right now. They're great players, and you can add Cano to that list too. Cano's batting 5 today, and he's an all-star. It's a tough lineup to navigate through. They've got a lot of good hitters in it, especially the first 5 in the lineup.
Infield comes in. And a strike to Melky Cabrera. Yeah, the Yankees, who had a tough start this year, they're getting it right of late. A lot of their big name players are carrying them. There's the ball getting by Marlin, and it does go as a triple for Cano. In the air, Marlon Byrd coming in on it this time. He'll make the catch, and no chance to tag from third base for Cano. Real nice to keep Cano at third here. Still got a couple outs to get. Chris Benson getting ready in the Ranger pen. Another of the Yankees switch hitters, Nick Swisher. Last year was a Chicago White Sox. Of course, we got to know him first as an Oakland Athletic.
Now, Swisher got off to an amazing start for the Yankees this year. He's cooled off a little bit, but still has 9 home runs and knocked in 24. The Yankees were struggling a little bit early. Swisher really was their hottest hitter.
Joe Girardi's on record, the Yankees manager, saying that it was important to bring this guy in, not only for his baseball talent, but because of the swagger. Girardi admits that last year the Yankees were a very quiet, professional, even sterile kind of a team. Nick Swisher definitely livens things up in a hurry. On the ground, Andrus can come home with it, but he bobbles it. And now all he can do is go to first. Well, that's too bad. They had the infield in. They had the shot to get him, as Cano was breaking on contact, but that bobble made it not possible to come home after all.
Yeah, they were going to have Cano. He might have had to stop getting a run down. He would have been out on so much. And that kind of play, that it doesn't go as an error because you got the batter at first base. But if he fielded it cleanly, you definitely could have prevented that run from scoring.
Now, a lot of baseball still left today, but boy, the Rangers trying to make a big impression for the big crowd. They trail by 6. This is after the shutout yesterday. The Rangers beat the Astros 5-0. very strong effort for Brandon McCarthy, scattering those 9 hits. It had never gone 9 before, and certainly had never gone as many as 124 pitches before. Well, Scott Feldman had pitched well the day before, and obviously Derek Holland was impressive in his first big league start on Friday. Breaking ball hit in the air by Pena, fairly deep to left field. Marlon Byrd is back to grab it. Well, the Yankees scored 4 times in the top of the 3rd. They lead by 6. $5 parking. See the Rangers and the A's twilight doubleheader this coming Friday. Enter fireworks as a coupon code at TexasRangers.com. Sponsored by our friends at 105.3 The Fan. The Rangers threatened in the bottom of the 2nd inning with the game 2-0 at that time, but Phil Hughes struck out the side with 2 on. Now trying to restart, but Alex Rodriguez will rob Elvis Andrus.
He was playing in shallow in front of the bag, actually, in case Elvis wanted to bunt. And it looked like Elvis had hit it sharply enough, but enough to Alex's left to get it by him for a base hit. And a good, quick first step. And a lunge allowed Alex to make a nice play on that.
The move from short to third not too long ago. Of course, Michael Young has been asked to do that this year. Remember, that was a very interesting dynamic when Alex Rodriguez first got to New York. Very quickly doused. No thought of moving Derek Jeter off of short. Out in front of the plate, Kevin Cash loads up and takes care of Kinsler. Funny how the headlines have changed regarding A-Rod over the years, Tom. I mean, he gets to New York, and at first it's all about how he gets along with Jeter. Just always something, you know. Last year at this time it was all the Madonna stuff, and obviously this past spring training it was quite another issue. Young with a foul back into the big crowd. The Rangers off to the second best start in team history. Only those playoff teams of 96 and 98 got out any better. High fly ball from Michael towards center. And as well as the Rangers have played, especially at home this year, it's just not happening yet today. 6-0 New York at the end of 3. Eastern, 2 Central. A moment to pause and remember on Memorial Day. Memorial Day, originally called Decoration Day, established in the aftermath of the Civil War and declared as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the war dead with flowers. And from there, obviously, it has been so honored in our country and here playing baseball throughout our landscape today. Pretty nice. Usually baseball would say, let's just all make sure we pause and reflect. Our Aflac trivia question, the Hall of Famer who was awarded 11 medals for his service in the military, also awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor. That answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, Tag, the ball game still has a lot of ball game in it. There's 6 innings left to go. But this is not close to how the Rangers wanted to start the homestand here, trailing 6-0.
No, I'm sure that all the players wanted to get off to a good start today. They recognize what a great day it is, what a huge crowd coming home after a good sweep in Houston. You want to get off to a good start, play a good game today. But like you say, there's 6 more innings to go. The first 3 haven't gone well, but still plenty of time to get back in it. Just got to hold down the top of the Yankee lineup.
It begins with the bottom this inning. A chance for Harrison to get cash, which sounds good in a couple of ways. Kevin Cash, the leadoff man here. And it looks like he's got cash. They fly ball to Marlon Byrd. A lot of action for Marlon all of a sudden out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 6 balls put in play by the Yankees have been hit his way. The only shortstop ever with 6 different seasons of 200 hits is Derek Jeter. Michael Young, as you might know, has 5 such seasons. And of course, Michael now a third baseman. History shows it is difficult to win with an aging shortstop. Sports Illustrated did a little study on that, Tag, and they figured out none of the last 56 playoff teams had a shortstop as old as Derek Jeter. But I'd suggest to you that Derek Jeter is not going to go gently into that good night in his career. He's got a lot of good baseball still to be played.
I think throughout baseball history, most players that played shortstop that were Derek Jeter's age or older didn't look like Derek Jeter.
Yep.
Derek Jeter still looks like he did when he was 24, let alone 34. Now, he may have slowed down a little bit, but he's still a front-line guy. You can win with him.
Let's go to Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. Look what we have here. Why, it's Colt McCoy, Texas Longhorn quarterback. Got to throw out the first pitch. Nice job. Now, what's more nerve-wracking? Throw out the first pitch here before a Ranger-Yankee game or playing against Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl?
Honestly, I was a lot more nervous here. I was kind of out of my comfort zone. I tried to take a little drop back to make it feel right, but it was pretty nervous out there.
Now, you are a Ranger fan, of course, growing up and watching the Rangers. You also are a big-time Nolan Ryan fan. You got to meet Nolan before the game. What was that like?
It was awesome. I had a poster of Nolan hanging up in my room that said flamethrower when I was growing up. So, I watched him. I love the Rangers. Been coming to Rangers games since I was a little kid. And I'm just honored to be here. It's been a great day. You not only met Nolan, you met some of the Ranger players. Did any of the players give you a bit of advice before you took the mound? Yeah, Josh just told me to relax and have fun. Those guys are great. I enjoyed spending some time with them, and just happy to be here. Okay, now the season gets going before you know it. You got Texas Tech early on in the season. Good to knock those guys off early on. Our schedule's set up pretty good. Every week we're going to get everybody's best shot, so we have to be prepared. But I wish we started tomorrow. Being around this and the competition and the game atmosphere makes me ready for next year. All right, Cole, good seeing. Just a second away from playing for a national championship last year. Just a tough loss against Texas Tech, but the schedule does set up nicely for the Longhorns this year. We'll wait and see. All right, Josh, thanks.
Hook 'em horns. Thank you very much, Jim. Welcome, Colt. Johnny Damon played some football in high school. Didn't quite ascend to the status of Colt McCoy. He is down on strikes here. Matt Harrison taking care of Johnny Damon. It's a very welcome 1-2-3 inning. And now the Rangers looking to go to work, trailing by 6. The Hall of Famer awarded all those medals for his service in the military. You might have guessed it is Ted Williams. There's Josh Hamilton finding the alley in left center. All of a sudden, the opposite field thing is going on for Josh. He had an opposite field a home run yesterday. Here's a double to start the 4th inning. And the great Ted Williams would have said, no. You're supposed to take a pitch. But Josh hammers right away and has himself a double.
That's just what you want to do with that pitch. It's a fastball, tailing away, outside corner. Don't try to pull it, especially when you've got the kind of power that Josh does. You can hit the ball out in the left field just as easily as right field. Go with the pitch makes you a better hitter. Nelly Cruz did that the first time up. Drove one to right center field.
High fly ball, shallow left. And just to finish the thought on Ted Williams, every once in a while somebody will throw it out there, Tag. They wonder what the stats would have looked like had he not spent all that time on active duty. And then you look it up and you realize, yeah, wait a minute. Even a couple of more years, how gaudy those stats would have been. And they were obviously some of the best ever anyway.
Well, at a minimum, in the heart of his career, you could average 5 years at about 320 with at least 30 home runs and 100 knocked in. So you could add 150 home runs and 500 runs batted in to whatever he had and feel pretty comfortable that it would have been actually more than that.
A tremendous eyesight. Navy made him a pilot in World War II. You and I have talked about this, Tag. Ted Williams was always, I think, bothered by that implication that he hit 400 because he had 2010 eyesight. There's a lot of guys that have really incredible eyesight that never come close to even being in the big leagues, let alone hitting 400.
Yeah, the eyesight helps, but you can't play in the big leagues if you don't have good eyesight. I think that was a media concoction. There's a lot of guys that have the same kind of eyesight that Ted did.
Blaylock sends one back in the crowd.
It's not like he had X-ray vision. And even if he did, you're right, that wouldn't necessarily make him a great hitter. It might help him if he already was a great hitter. But I don't think it necessarily distinguished him from other great hitters in baseball.
They said he had an uncanny sense of weight and balance, too, that he once sent a shipment of bats back to the manufacturer because he thought they were 5/1000ths of an inch off. And then they measured, and he was right. Blaylock with a foul back this way. One of the stats I love about Ted Williams is that he only batted below 316 once. And that was at the age of 41. On 2-2 to Blaylock. Checks his swing.
Yes, he did. He laid off. Pretty good pitch, though. Pretty tough pitch to lay off of. Very tempting pitch. Hard breaking curveball down and in like that.
Blaylock, remember, was hit by a pitch back in the second inning.
Great look at it. He checked it at the time.
Taken for a called third strike. The Rangers now 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And 4 of those 5 at bats have been strikeouts.
High strike, but it caught the rectangle. Pitch looks high to a hitter when you see that curveball that goes down a lot. That one just dropped in on top of the strike zone.
Marlon Byrd took a called third strike that was highly disputable last time. He's going to swing here and just tap it back to the mound. Another leadoff double goes for naught. Rangers had that in the second inning. Now again in the fourth, and it's 6-0 Yankees at the end of 4 today. best in Texas. Also by Aflac, who got you under our wing. And by Corona, official sponsor of the timeout. Former Rangers hitting here in the top of the fifth. It's 1-0 to Mark Teixeira, A-Rod to follow. Those former Rangers have been very tough outs today. Teixeira's been on base twice. A-Rod's been on base twice. We talked about it last time Teixeira was up. The Tex kind of jumped on board the Yankees money train this past offseason. They got the pitching first. Or initially, I guess you can say, with CC and AJ. Sabathia and Burnett. Then they started adding hitters. Teixeira's one of them. He's out. And here comes A-Rod.
Matt got the ball inside. That's what he's been trying to do to Tex. That one got in there, jammed him.
A-Rod has been all about the long ball since coming off the DL. We had mentioned 7 of his 10 hits this year had been home runs, but today it's 2 singles. Now he again gets the booing equivalent of the full Monty when he comes here to Arlington. Still happens in Seattle, I guess, for him too. Swings, and it's up the middle for base hit number 3. A-Rod has not been kept off the bases yet today.
Second baseman Robinson and Cano.
Rangers and Yankees through Wednesday, don't forget. Then the A's come to town. Good seats still available for the Yankees games tomorrow night and Wednesday night if you call 972 Rangers or if you go online at TexasRangers.com. Cano goes after the first one. He does that a lot. Marlon Byrd says he's going to handle it. He does. Play a big part, Tag, of why the Yankees are doing what they're doing now, getting back in the race. 2 guys that let them down last year have been very strong this year. That's the 2 guys that just batted and are about to bat, Cano and Cabrera.
Yeah, Cano had a little bit of a down year last year. You're right. He hit about 270. Year before, he hit 19 home runs and knocked in over 90 runs. Year before that, he hit 340. So it was a little bit of a down year for him. He's a guy that's capable of hitting at the top of the order. He's batting 5th for the Yankees right now. In this ball game, anyway. Makes great contact. Hasn't struck out in 42 plate appearances.
Breaking ball for a strike. Well, the Yankees have all those walk-off wins at home this year. Cabrera responsible for half of them. 3 of the 6 Yankee walk-offs. Get under the hands for a strike, 1 and 2. Wearing the number that Bobby Abreu had been wearing for them, 53. And performing kind of like Abreu had been performing for them for a couple of years. Just staying alive right there is Cabrera. Now the Yankees have the most come from behind wins in baseball this year. And they are only getting healthier, although there's one hiccup with that. Brian Bruni is headed to the DL. It's pretty much been their 8th inning setup guy. Over a leaping Andrews, a base hit. Marlon Byrd running to cut it off. He does. Oh, and a wipeout at first base. Cabrera did a pratfall and has to scramble back to first. He was fully horizontal down on the ground there for a minute. Runners at the corners now for Nick Swisher. Michael Young and A-Rod catch up over at third.
See if we can catch him going around first. Maybe Chris stuck out his foot and tripped him. Nope, the base got him.
The carpet gnomes. A-Rod down the line at third. Cabrera a safe lead at first. Ball one inside. Chris Benson was up in the bullpen earlier for the Rangers, but there's no action right now. Inside corner for a strike. Well, the Yankees in a fight right now in the AL East. Toronto has lost ground. The Yankees have been able to gain ground, and Boston's been very good all season. And nobody's ruling out Tampa Bay. Got 4 teams within 4 games of each other in that AL East.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's scoring a lot of runs. They've just got to get their pitching straightened out a little bit. But they're back to 500. They're only 4 games out, so they'll be a factor before it's all over. And one thing you always have is interdivision play.
Base hit with 2 out to make it 7-0 Yankees.
They'll have a lot of games against their top competitors.
It seems like in this game anyway, Tag, it's kind of similar to what was happening to Harrison in Detroit. It's dislocation, not where he needs it to be all the time.
Well, that's probably it. And, you know, that's not necessarily location there. That ball's up and in, just pretty good hitting. So you've got a combination of things. Matt's got some balls probably away from his target. And the Yankees are hot right now. They've got a good lineup, good hitters. They're swinging the bats. Teixeira's hot. A-Rod's getting hot. Jeter and Damon are hot. Cano can hit. They just have a lot of good hitters in their lineup right now. You have to make good pitches, and you don't get away with many mistakes when you face them.
Oh, with Benson back up in the bullpen, Ramiro Pena comes to the plate. Not known as a power guy, but he gave one a ride last time up to the track and left. Two in the first for the Yankees today, 4 in the third, 1 here in the 5th. A little 2-out rally. And the Rangers have not been without their chances today. They had 2 on, nobody out in the 2nd inning. Leadoff double in the 4th. There's a strike for young Matt Harrison. He had been unscored on here at home over 15 innings coming in today. But again, the Yankees set a tone pretty early. Derek Jeter, that leadoff double after going ahead in the count 3-0 to start. Damon had the infield hit. Teixeira ripped a double. A-Rod an infield hit. And before the Rangers had an out today, they were down 2. Runners go, and the ball popped foul. Well, the hope obviously is that this big crowd will have something to get excited about. Start hitting some home runs, let the fireworks go. All the shouting so far, though, been from the Yankee fans. High drive by Pena. He's never had a big league home run. He's close, but he doesn't get it out. Halfway through it here in Arlington. 7-0 Yankees. Is that where you're from?
I'm from Atlanta, but I currently reside at D Magazine.
I just set you up and you knock them down. Our Evan Grant, we can say, too. Fox Sports Southwest's Evan Grant.
Today, Fox Sports Southwest Evan Grant,
well,
yes.
We're really happy to have you. Chris Davis' strike. And obviously, Evan, with the big crowd here today, and there's a fever building here in this community about the Rangers. This is not the foot the Rangers wanted to step out on today.
No, it's not the message that they wanted to send with what I'm assuming is going to be announced at more than 49,000 people here. But there's still opportunity for them to make a comeback in this game, for them to show a few things off.
Your impressions of Phil Hughes, because last time he was in this ballpark, he was actually in progress with a no-hitter when he hurt his hamstring, had to leave.
You know, he had gone 7 1/3 innings after in this ballpark without allowing a hit. He's allowed 2, and both times he's allowed leadoff doubles. He's come right back and either pitched really impressively, or the Rangers have struggled with runners in scoring position. But 6 at-bats with runners in scoring position, and the Rangers haven't been able to advance the runner at all.
The road trip was 3 up and 3 down. The Houston part went real well. The Detroit part, not so much. But the thing I keep coming back to, Evan, is, I mean, I know you got to play who's on your schedule and all, but the Rangers are 26 and 11 this year, other than having to play the Tigers. So you really can't quarrel here at the quarter of the season mark, I guess.
You know, Josh, the thing with the Tigers is a little bit mysterious, and why that's been such a long losing streak is kind of beyond me. But even when you take the Tigers situation into hand, with this team having the best winning percentage in the American League at this point, and having a 3.17 rotation ERA for May coming into today, obviously that's going to change. They've been quite a surprise.
Teagarden nails one towards left field. This ball up, this ball high up on the wall, and Taylor Teagarden on his way to second base. Well, the Rangers' 3 hits have all been doubles today, and boy, Teagarden didn't miss by much right there, almost took it out.
Evan, you've covered the Rangers for a while. It's unusual for the Rangers to be in a position where, when Vicente Padilla comes back, they might have one extra starting pitcher. How do you see that unfolding?
You know, Tag, I talked a little bit of this on my blog today, that I think that this has always been the case with the Rangers. Is you're always wondering what's going to happen when the next pitcher comes back. And right now, I think the situation is pretty self-explanatory. Even with Matt Harrison struggling a little bit today, this pitching staff has pitched really, really well.
Yep.
Derek Holland came up here. He was going to pitch in the bullpen until the right opportunity presented itself. I don't think that opportunity long-term has presented itself yet. I don't think there is really a long-term opening here. And if Derek Holland pitches in the bullpen for the majority of this season, that's not going to be a bad thing for the Rangers.
No, and don't you think that every team in baseball has a rare season when their 5 starters start 32 games for the whole season? That there could be a lot of opportunities in a lot of different ways as well.
Well, but this staff has been a little bit healthier this year, and they have been a little bit more durable. And again, I do think there's going to be an opportunity before the end of the year where Holland will get long-term looks in the starting rotation. But if it doesn't happen now, I don't think there's any reason for any Ranger fan to panic.
Right. Good point.
Andrews slugs it foul into the crowd.
But one thing about those line shots into the crowd on days like this, there's no empty seats. Got to be awake.
Ouch. On the forearm, it looks like.
Evan, you ever caught a foul ball at a ball game?
No, because I never get to sit in the stands anymore. And the one I did have a chance at in Anaheim in the press box went right off the old mitts.
That happened in Chicago. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, but I wasn't on TV. You were, so it's far more embarrassing.
Yeah, far more. I agree.
Can't believe we missed that, Evan, or you would have been on TV.
2-2 to count to Elvis Andrus. Rangers down 7-0 as you check the in-game box score presented by Firestone.
Now, how are you liking your new D Magazine gig?
I love it. I mean, there's an awful lot of freedom to just kind of riff on whatever really comes to mind. I was able to take a lot of time last night to digest what's going on with Brandon McCarthy and why he's made so much progress. And I thought it was able to bring a little bit more depth to what I wrote about it than I normally would have been with a newspaper print type deadline.
But I heard there's like a real future in newspapering right now. No?
It breaks my heart. It really does. I grew up reading the paper every day. I've done nothing but work for a newspaper all my life, and it just saddens me.
Elvis Andrews smashing towards right field, backing up on the ball, and grabbing it is Nick Swisher. Teagarden will tag and go to third. The Rangers still don't have a hit with a runner in scoring position today, but for the first time they're able to move a runner.
The real question, though, is how do you enjoy your FaceTime on Fox Sports Southwest? That's a new gig for you, for sure.
Leading to some new shirts, I noticed.
It's been fun. Now, this is an old one, but I did go out and buy a new tie and new shirt for last week's two appearances. I didn't think I could run the same purple tie out there time after time. I'm just happy now that we've reached the 85 to 90 degree threshold where I can get away without any ties.
Is in play.
If you have questions for Evan Grant, we're all really down with the whole Twitter concept now. So twitter.com FS Southwest.
Do you twit?
I tweet. Am twit. Do tweet. Kind of my policy on that. How's Tag coming with the tweeting?
Tag doesn't tweet. I have nothing against it. I respect everyone's right to tweet. It's just not my gig.
I have tweeted today.
Have you?
I have.
Tag also talks in the third person now. He's like Neon Dion.
Tag doesn't twit. Sorry, guys.
Tag don't play that.
2-0 the count to Ian Kinsler. 0 for 2 today. Ian by far has the best home batting average on this Texas Rangers team, about .420. That's called a strike right there, 2-1. A lot of emotion every time the Yankees come in, obviously, Evan. And boy, back to back, the booing for Teixeira and A-Rod was window rattling.
You guys have the windows open here, and in the press box of the main, the glass is kind of enclosed. So, did you feel like it was that passionate on Alex more than his other returns?
I don't know, not necessarily more than other years, but it strikes me that it's now been a little while since he's been a Ranger. But the passion to make a statement for or against that guy just always is pretty staggering to me.
I don't know if you're aware of this. He had kind of an eventful offseason.
I read something about that, yeah.
I think people are expressing their emotions, and I think that this offseason, a lot of what kind of came out between the book and other things put the Rangers in a negative light, and I think fans were responding.
A-Rod has responded today with 3 hits. It's 7-0 New York. Thanks, Ev. Nice shirt.
Thank you, Evan.
Happy tweeting.
All right, I'll bring cookies next time.
Would you? Well, we were just talking about with Evan Grant. It's been a big day for Alex Rodriguez as he comes back here to Arlington. He's got 3 hits. The Yankees lead 7-0. Chris Benson will take the mound for the Rangers now. Matt Harrison's day is done after 5 innings and 11 hits. And Chris Benson's become kind of the forgotten man around here at Tag. There's just not been a lot for him to do.
Well, it's not a great situation for the long reliever, but it's a great situation for the team when you can go long stretches without having to use your long reliever. He's been ready, but the starters have been pitching consistently deep into the ball game, and there haven't been a lot of opportunities. But over 162 games, you tend to get your opportunities. You have to be ready when they present themselves, and Chris knows his role right now and has to make the best out of the opportunities when they arrive.
First pitch, lined in the right center field by Kevin Cash. Derek Jeter comes up next. Benson was the #1 overall pick in 1996, which is the year that Derek Jeter really burst onto the scene in big league baseball. He had made his debut the September the year before, but in 1996, a .314 hitter. He and the Yankees began that run of 13 straight years in the postseason. We seem to tell this story every year about Derek Jeter, but I don't think there was any coincidence with only one single number jersey still available that hadn't been retired or being worn by Joe Torre at the time. But Derek Jeter was handed that single digit, #2, that he has made his own. He'll be the last Yankee ever to wear that. Checking his swing. It was in 1996 that Reggie Jackson told Derek Jeter, "Son, I will trade my past for your future."
That's a pretty good past he was willing to trade.
No kidding. I might have hedged my bet just a little if I was Reg.
Reggie was a tremendous player, played on a lot of tremendous teams too. He has a lot of winning in his background too. And it might have been a slight exaggeration to give that legacy up for what Derek had in the future, but it's a good example if he knew what he was talking about too. Derek has built his own legacy on championship teams. He'll go to the Hall of Fame. He'll have well over 3,000 hits when he gets done.
Yeah.
He's been the captain of the Yankee team.
Talk more about the captain of the Yankee team in just a moment. First, we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Memorial Day. We have a few members of the U.S. Navy on hand, and Navy's for Mom. What's this all about, Christina?
Navy for Moms is a social networking site. We have about 17,000 members now, and this month is Paint the Town Blue. So the Navy for Moms are here supporting our Deppers that got sworn in this evening and all of our Navies that are already in it. And we're just here to cheer on the Rangers and be a representative of the Navy today.
All right, for Navy moms who have sons in the Navy and they want to become a part of Navy for Moms, what do they need to do?
They need to go to www.navyformoms.com, and there will step-by-step instructions of how to actually create your own page and become a member. And you don't have to be a mother or a father or a grandmother or grandfather of somebody who's currently in. You can be planning on going in or thinking about going in, and you can join.
All right, thank you, Navy for Moms, and thank you to the Navy Academy right here. Thank you very much. How about the moms, huh? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Josh.
Anchors away, Jim. Thank you. 2 strikes to count to Johnny Damon. I just finish up on Derek Jeter. And, you know, you've seen him on the cover of GQ. You've seen him on a cereal box. You've seen him hosting Saturday Night Live and endorsing peanut butter. But like you say, Tag, he's earned all that because you've also seen him in a batch of World Series games, too.
Yeah, I can't think, even trying to nitpick, of one thing bad to say about Derek Jeter. He's a quality person. He plays the game hard. He's been the captain of championship teams. He's playing under a microscope in New York City. And he's one player in New York. You just don't have to worry about picking up the newspaper the next day and seeing his name in the headlines. Handles himself exceptionally well on the field and the same way off the field. Just a class person all the way around.
Doesn't keep him out of, you know, the whole page 6 thing. I mean, if he does happen to go out for dinner or date somebody famous, and yeah, the gossip
Yeah, that's
pages
not
will
the
mention
headlines
it.
I'm talking
right,
about.
Right, exactly. He's not going to do things that put him in a bad light or the team in a bad light.
If I'm Derek, if I looked like Derek Jeter, played like Derek Jeter, was as smart as Derek Jeter, you'd see my name in New York with the dates that I was on too.
Well, when he first came up, that was the whole thing. He was romantically linked to Mariah Carey and a former Miss Universe. I was once linked to Harry Carey, and I've watched Miss Universe. Does that count or no?
That counts. How'd your first date go?
Not well. Outside, Johnny Damon is on. And now, the former Rangers, Teixeira and A-Rod.
First baseman Mark Teixeira.
But, you know, just to kind of tag what you were saying there, Tom, you know, the other thing Jeter, I think, does so well is handle that pressure of New York. That first year we were talking about, 1996, he made a key error in a game. And the next day's back page headline was short slop. And, you know, there are guys that play in New York that pick up the newspaper, read that, and just go to pieces. Not Jeter. There's a little broken bat bloop from Teixeira. Look at this. Another Yankee run coming in. Alex Rodriguez coming up. And the former Rangers are battering the current Rangers today. That's 3 times on base for Teixeira, and A-Rod's been on 3 times already too.
Third baseman Alex Rodriguez.
The Yankees have scored 8 runs. Teixeira's knocked in 2. Rodriguez, Cano, and Swisher have all knocked in 2. 4 guys with 2 RBIs.
And as we talk about the interesting tabloid headlines, A-Rod has had to read a ton of them. A-Royd was the popular one. A something else even. By one of the more courageous tabloids this year. And I don't know about you, Tag. It seems like just getting away from it all. I mean, that hip surgery that he had to have, and it took him out of the limelight for a couple of months. That maybe helps a lot of that stuff die down. He's going to drill this one in the left center. Wow. The Yankees are hitting a ton today. Alex Rodriguez, 4 for 4. 10-0.
Well, let the Yankees get them out of their system today. Hopefully, the next 2 days, some of the runs will go the Rangers' way, not the Yankees' way. But you're right, it's all Yankees so far. Been some pretty good pitches to hit against some really good hitters who are swinging the bats really well right now. Tough combination.
The Rangers having won 8 straight games here at home. And the owners have the best record in the American League. They're trying to make that statement today that that's not a mirage.
Ron Washington would love to see Chris be able to pitch. I know he'd love to see him pitch the last 4 innings if he can, just so you don't have to use the guys in the bullpen that you might want tomorrow today.
Four runs batted in for A-Rod, and yeah, this has suddenly become a real tough inning for Benson. It started with an out. The walks, though, by Jeter and Damon, setting up Teixeira and A-Rod. Remember, Teixeira broke his bat on that bloop shot single. That was a no doubt about a double from Alex Rodriguez. In the air to right, and Nelson Cruz settling under it. He's got it. Melky Cabrera comes up next. We go to Rick Renner.
Hey guys, normally at this time we do our Twitter question of the night. We thought we'd switch things up a little bit on this glorious Memorial Day and do a shout out to the military. Go to our Twitter page, twitter.com, FS Southwest, and give a shout out to someone that's special in your life in the military. For me, it's my father, U.S. Navy. He died in Vietnam, and we want to thank all the military for all the good things that they do. Back over to you.
Thanks, Rick, very much. And the Rangers again put on a real nice tribute before the game today. One out of 3 today for the switch hitting Melky Cabrera. One of 13 Yankee hits. Rangers have 3 hits today. They've all been doubles. And the problem is the Rangers have gone 0 for 7 after those doubles.
Yeah, 2 of the doubles were leadoff doubles of an inning.
Ground ball, second base. That will end a 3-run top of the 6th on a day that has become all New York in Arlington, Texas. 10-0 our score. Even giving away 50 grand this inning would leave the Rangers a little short. It's 10-0 New York on Memorial Day today. Obviously, a lot of attention being paid to how well the Yankees are swinging the bats today, Tag. But boy, we should also mention that Phil Hughes has pitched very, very well, following up on a 9 strikeouts in 5 innings effort his last time. We'll apparently take a look at our Ford leaderboard. Michael Young and many Rangers hitting well in this month of May. May has been a very kind month to the Texas Rangers. How about Joe Mauer, by the way? 9 home runs already this year.
Came off the DL swinging, that's for sure.
Back to Phil Hughes. You know, again, a guy that in this ballpark a couple of years ago was unbelievable. He had the no-hitter going, and then while pitching to Mark Teixeira, of all people, he strained his hamstring, had to go out of the game with the no-hitter intact. As a first-round pick of the Yankees not too long ago, they're expecting big things.
Oh, he's still very young. He's still only 22 years old. He'll be 23 in June. Well, he's only 20 during that game. But it looked like the way he was pitching that day that might be the start of exactly what the Yankees were looking for. But that hamstring injury pretty much ruined his season.
Inside, Michael Young is on.
Mentioned that he had some control problems. 13 walks in 21 innings coming into the game. That's his first walk today, though. No issues with control at all.
Their supposed young guns, Hughes and Kennedy, last year combined to go 0-8. And as we've already talked about, the Yankees reacted to that by doing what they do best, which is spend money. Sabathia and Burnett. Kaching. Last year was kind of a turbulent year for the Yankees, I guess. There was a change in the manager's chair for the first time since '96. A change in who's signing the checks for the first time since 1973. And a couple of different Steinbrenners that have ascended to the top of the ladder. Hank and now Hal Steinbrenner rather than George. And Joe Girardi is the manager. Got a good bench coach in Tony Pena, who has moved to the dugout from the first base coaching box. That makes 7 different Yankee bench coaches in the last 7 years. That's turbulent. Joe Girardi, they say, lets children roam the clubhouse now. He places no restrictions on clubhouse music. He maintains a very positive environment. But you'd appreciate this tag. The one thing he's a stickler about is no junk food allowed.
No junk food. Wow.
No sweets in the clubhouse. No candy, no Doritos, no ice cream.
I have no problem with that.
Granola bars and fruit.
Well, the Rangers have gone a long way to accomplish that too. Rangers clubhouse is a very healthy clubhouse. There's not much that a candy bar can do for you during a baseball game that helps
There's
you.
not?
No.
No.
I wish I knew that when I was playing.
Well, why'd they make Reggie bars then for Reggie Jackson? I mean,
to sell to people other than baseball players who are playing a game.
Gotcha.
There's nothing wrong with a candy bar. Just that big shot of sugar doesn't do a whole lot for you during a ball game.
That was quite the rage for a couple years back east, was the Reggie bar. Catfish Hunter had the great line about that. The candy bar that you unwrap and it tells you how good it is. It's kind of like a mutant Reese's peanut butter cup is what the Reggie bar was. It had some peanuts in there. Hamilton golfs one way up in the air. And Melky Cabrera's got it. Now the Rangers and Yankees play tomorrow night. And there was thought that maybe Jabba Chamberlain would not be able to make that start for New York. He was hurt. Had to leave early in his last start. But he will apparently pitch tomorrow against Kevin Millwood. There's a 7:05 first pitch. And if you want to grab your tickets, you can call right now, 972 Rangers. Jabba Chamberlain is built like the machines that dispense the junk food. Those square shoulders and that rocket ship fastball. He will be on the mound tomorrow night against Mr. Millwood. Another towering fly ball from a Ranger. Alex Rodriguez in to make that catch.
It's funny you talk about no junk food in the clubhouse. I can remember easily back in the 70s going into the clubhouse, especially on the road. And the first thing you saw, I can remember Minnesota in particular, Jimmy Wiesner was the clubhouse guy there, and he'd have about 3 or 4 different kinds of cake and coffee cake, whole milk, and you'd walk in there, have 2 or 3 pieces of cake, a couple of glasses of milk, and then wonder why you felt lousy when you went out for batting practice. You didn't know any better back then. Would have been interesting to see if they also had healthy things like fruit.
Like, would anybody have taken that?
Yeah,
instead?
would you have gone to the fruit, or would you have gone to the candy bars and the cookies and the cake?
Seems to be a lot less cigarette smoking among players these days, too.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing is not allowed in the clubhouse, at least the team can't dispense it anymore, smokeless tobacco. Clubhouse guys used to have that. You can't do that anymore. Players are not forbidden from doing it, but they have to supply their own. The clubhouse doesn't supply it anymore. And if I remember right, you can't do it in the minor leagues. I might be wrong on that, but I think they banned it in the minor leagues. Minor leagues doesn't have a union. Teams can do whatever they want to the minor leaguers.
1-2 the count to Blaylock now. It's a nasty habit that Josh Hamilton has tried so hard to quit. Rangers being out hit 13-3 today. There's been a lot of that today. He's kind of squibbing baseballs out in front of home plate.
Most of them on Hughes' curveball. He's got a good curveball. Very consistent fastball today. If you want to drop one number on his fastball, it's been 92 most of the time. Occasionally 93, occasionally 91. Most of them are at 92, which is solid to go along with a curveball and a slider.
"14 strikeouts in his last 10 innings, going back to his last start. Blaylock loops it towards short, caught. And the Rangers still don't have a run today. 10-0 New York at the end of 6. Up can cost you $200. Click it or ticket. And by Quick Reach, it's what America's made of. Much more for the Yankee fans to be excited about today than the Ranger fans. The Texans have managed 3 doubles today. But that's it against Phil Hughes. The Rangers pitchers, Matt Harrison and Chris Benson, have batted around a bit. Bottom third of the Yankee order in the top of the 7th. On Memorial Day 2009. On the out-of-town scoreboard tag, the Astros, a team that the Rangers just swept. Trailing 6-3 in Cincinnati with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. And now it's raining. So 1 out away from that being an official game.
We'll keep our eye on that.
Yeah, the Astros are hoping for a bad forecast. They gave up 5 in the first today in Cincinnati. I would say the pitcher's duel of the day has to be St. Louis at Milwaukee.
Well, as good as the Rangers starting pitching has been, St. Louis has been out of this world with their starting pitching.
Well, the Fort Worth native Giovanni Gallardo is on the mound for the Brewers. He's got a 2-hitter through 8. Chris Carpenter has a one-hitter in the 8th inning. 0-0, bottom 8, 3 hits in the whole game.
I noticed on the scoreboard that Justin Verlander has another good game going. He's been just about untouchable his last 4 or 5 starts.
The Rangers got a big dose of that. Ground ball, Swisher to Davis. Yeah, the Tigers lead the Royals today 7-0. That game is at the 7th inning stretch, and it's a 5-hitter for Verlander. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. With a couple of big-time Ranger fans. This is Tara. This is Cameron. They got married on Saturday in Beaumont. And Tara, what happened after that?
Well, after the wedding, we ended up in Houston, watched the Rangers and the Astros play in Houston. Here we are today, and then tonight we're driving to Kansas City to watch the Royals and Detroit play.
And you're good with this?
I am fine with this.
All right, engagement ring 1,000, wedding dress 750, tux rental 150. And Tara, because you're such a good sport, you watch the Rangers all the time, progressive fan of the game right here. And Cameron, we got to have a good honeymoon, right, the rest of the way?
It's going to be great.
Okay, good enough. Nice meeting you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Josh.
Our progressive fans of the game. Thank you, Jim. My honeymoon was much different. I'm not saying it was better or worse, just different.
Well, if everybody took the same honeymoon, it would be really strange.
That's true. A lot less driving.
Wouldn't be any room.
A lot of awkward things happen.
Imagine if everyone went to the same hotel on their honeymoon. It's like you have to camp out for like 20 miles away trying to get to it.
That ball fouled by Ramiro Pena, who's had some strong at-bats today.
What they would probably do is let each person stay there for about an hour.
And you just run them in and out? Yeah.
keep running them out.
Well, no pressure there, Tag. But
put up tents in the backyard.
This is an outstanding wedding that I kind of eavesdropped on at the Rangers Hotel in Houston, I have to admit. That ball by Bird is trapped. Marlin came up showing that baseball, said, I got it. But down the line went Phil Cuzzy to say, no, you trapped it.
That was a nice try. Looked like from here he trapped it as well. Marlin's not arguing. But he did a nice job to catch the ball on that short hop and hold the runner, the hitter, to a single. Yeah, I saw that wedding in Houston, too. That looked like a fairly high-class wedding.
It looked spectacular. I'm not Owen Wilson. I'm not Vince Vaughn. Don't pretend to be. But I was just kind of wandering in there and just, seeing if the pastries were any good.
I'd be surprised if they weren't. That's an incredible hotel. That's the best restaurant in the league, too, by the way.
In Houston?
Yes. Of any hotel.
I got to remember that.
I had breakfast 3 times, lunch twice, and dinner once in there.
What'd you do the next day?
Must have tried the ballpark. That's a great hotel.
Well, the Rangers had, obviously, top to bottom, a real nice time in Houston. Won 3 games. And they were trying to carry all that with them home here. The big crowd here today, 49,000 or so. But again, right from the first few pitches of the game, it just kind of tilted towards the Yankees, and it kept sloping. 2 runs were in before the Rangers had achieved an out today. Towards center, another Yankee base hit. They've got 15 of them now. And not enough that Jeter and Teixeira and A-Rod are doing their usual thing, but when Kevin Cash is getting a couple of hits and Ramiro Pena's coming through, that's kind of asking for trouble. Couple of runs scored for Jeter today. Fans seem to respond to Jeter getting backed away. Talking about runs scored, did you see this tag? The top 3 guys in the American League in runs scored are the 3 guys hitting 1, 2, 3 for the Baltimore Orioles. Brian Roberts, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis.
Wow.
And it's not like the Orioles are leading the major leagues in runs or batting average, but boy, I didn't realize that top third of the order was that productive until I saw that today.
That would have been a hard one to predict.
Here's another one for you. You know who's leading the league in hitting right now? Jason Bartlett, former Sooner. That ball driven to right. Well hit. Nelly Cruz is back, reaching up to make the... Yeah, he did make the catch. Thought he lost it there for a second. He got it. Out number 2.
Yeah, Tampa Bay got Jason Bartlett because they wanted to upgrade their defense. I don't think they expected to get the league's leading hitter after 2 months of the season. More power to Jason Bartlett having that kind of a year.
Nelly Cruz hanging on out there. And Johnny Damon, we mentioned he's having a really strong year with Jeter going to lead off and Damon hitting second. I think Damon has really taken to that. Already 10 home runs. That's the most he's ever had by Memorial Day in his career.
That's a great situation for Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez batting third and fourth when you've got 2 veterans like Jeter and Damon batting in front of you. Both of them have good speed. They're on base all day long. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to knock in runs.
Teixeira and Aaron will have to wait till the 8th to bat again. We will keep it right here on Memorial Day. The singing of God Bless America coming up. The Yankees lead 10-0.
Armed Services who are serving the country both at home and abroad.
Time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. Nothing New York. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Marlon Byrd batting for the Rangers, and just an unsightly line score right now if you're a Ranger fan. Phil Hughes all the way today for those New York Yankees. Gets a pop-up from Marlon Byrd. Cano called off. The great American poet Walt Whitman once said that to have great poets, there must be great audiences too. And we have the great audience today. We have a wonderful audience today. Still waiting for the poets to make an appearance here. The Rangers being out hit 15-3. The ballpark looks great. Notice the star cut on the infield here today. Very Texas. And again, the crowd was kind of, I think, good-naturedly shouting at each other for a while today off the top. Ranger fans and Yankee fans back and forth. But
well, a loss like this is a lot easier to take against the Yankees at home. When you look at the record and you look at the standings and you see the kind of start the Rangers have had, and you understand in baseball that over 162 games, you're going to have 15 or 20 games like this, no matter how good your team is.
Right. You hope they don't happen at home in front of 49,000.
Today, if you had to pick your day, this is not the day you would pick for it to happen. But it did, and you just have to get past this game and come back and have a good game tomorrow.
Davis up over top. A strikeout victim. Second time for him today. Well, the Yankees, assuming they hang on, if we can call it that, it's 10-0 in the 7th. They'll still have the worst record of the two teams come tomorrow. Rangers are dropped to 26-18. Folks, kids 13 and under can sign up for the Junior Rangers Club presented by Dr. Pepper. You get 8 ticket vouchers, a chance to hear from Chris Davis at the Meet the Rangers event this Saturday. You get a backpack and a cap. You can sign up right now at TexasRangers.com. I'm pretty much done with the Walt Whitman for today too.
That's all you got with Walt?
I got nothing else.
He had a lot more going for him than just that little
I know. That's just the one that kind of came to mind today. I'd like to see the Rangers at the very least. I mean, you know, they have hit those doubles today. There's been decent defense today, but nothing really sparkling yet. Just something to get the crowd up and roaring all together. That will not be it. That will be another pop fly out. Rangers have been doing quite a good bit of that today. Phil Hughes in charge. 10-0 New York. Texas Rangers. Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez have been a big part of it. They will both bat this inning against Chris Benson. We talked a little bit earlier about the career numbers that Mark Teixeira had as a Texas Ranger. 1 RBI away from 500 before he got dealt to Atlanta. And as that ball hit him, kind of grazed him. But yeah, Chris Benson hitting Mark Teixeira. And up comes Alex Rodriguez. The tag it. Now let's see here. Let's check. Look at the replay. I don't know, maybe got him on the thigh, maybe. Yeah. So Teixeira on base 4 times. A-Rod so far 4 for 4. Will take a strike on the inside. And as impressive as those Ranger numbers were for Teixeira, the 3 years that Alex Rodriguez spent here, we now know those are maybe some tainted numbers, but the average A-Rod season here, 52 home runs and 136 runs batted in. And A-Rod, he spun out of there.
I think when you talk about the teams in those 3 years, they weren't good teams. They were bottom of the division teams. But it certainly had nothing to do with Alex. He was the best player in baseball those 3 years. There just was not a lot going on good. He scored some runs, but in the pitching and defense department those years. It's also a good lesson, unlike in basketball, where you can add Shaquille O'Neal to an average team in his prime and turn it into a contender. One offensive player in baseball, unless you've got a good team to go around with them, doesn't really make that much difference.
A-Rod is 5 for 5. His 5th career 5-hit game. It just so happens to be in his return to Arlington. And well, obviously the New York media will have a frenzy with this. All that's just been written about Alex, that book that just came out this past week, and what happened when he was here. He returns to whatever you want to call it, the scene of the crime, what have you. He is 5 for 5 today.
He came into the game with 10 hits since his return.
Angel Baroa comes in a pinch run for Alex, who is done for the afternoon.
It was 10 for 53. 10 hits, 7 home runs, and a double. Today, in 5 at-bats, he has 5 hits. So he's got half as many hits today as he's had the whole time he's been back.
Well, when he came back off the DL, and everybody in Baltimore seemed to be voicing their displeasure with him. There's a base hit the other way for Cano. It's going to be bases loaded and nobody out. I mean, there again was, I guess, vintage Alex Rodriguez, right? The very first pitch he sees in his season, with all that's been swirling around him. Those fans in Baltimore giving him all kinds of the business. He just steps in there and hits a 3-run home run. Mike Maddox to talk to Benson. 17 hits for the Yankees today, only 3 for the Rangers. Again, the Rangers came in today in first in the West. Check the Jack in the Box standings. They will still be in first in the West. The Angels host the White Sox tonight. Rangers get action going in their bullpen. Bases loaded, nobody out. Melky Cabrera, the hitter.
Yeah, Chris has had to throw 52 pitches for the 2+ innings. The Rangers are going to have to get the bullpen going out there. Warner Madrigal is getting loose.
The opposite of this game is happening in Milwaukee. They are now scoreless in the 10th. St. Louis and Milwaukee. 4 hits total in this game, Tech, through 9 into the 10th inning. Giovanni Gallardo and Chris Carpenter, the starters. Carpenter went 8, Gallardo went 8. That is some kind of battle. Chopper foul. 10 strikeouts in that game for Carpenter in his 8 innings. Also, the Orioles lead the Blue Jays today 4-1 in the 9th. Where has Toronto's offense gone? Blue Jays about to lose their 7th in a row, and then unless they score again today, that'll be 13 runs total in a 7-game losing streak.
Well, they were a team that really didn't score that much coming into this season, and I think they were just a case of the whole team was hot at the same time. And now they're probably reverting back to what they'll be most of the season, which is somewhere in between where they are now and where they were at the beginning.
Statisticians call that regression to the mean.
I think you'll start to see that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the 2 guys in the middle of the order, Wells and Rios, really haven't torn it up so far this year. And then to score runs, those guys have to get hot.
Got him. Tom Hallian finally does the twist and shout with a Yankee at the plate.
They dropped a changeup near the outside corner. Got the call. And Chris could use a ground ball, turn a double play right here and get out of the inning, which might allow him to come back out and finish the 9th too.
Well, the Yankees a couple times in the history of this series have dropped 18 runs on the Rangers. Got a ways to go to get to that, but boy, it just feels like that kind of pounding today. A high fly ball from Swisher. Josh Hamilton makes the catch, and he'll fire towards third. But a sac fly. And Nick Swisher has a 3 RBI day off, just 1 hit. Two in the first, 4 in the third, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 1 in the 8th. Back to the out-of-town scoreboard tag. Gerald Laird has a home run today. The Tigers leading 9-0 in Kansas City behind Justin Verlander. Red Sox over the Twins 5-3 in the 7th.
I know the Tigers are real happy with Gerald Laird. He really hasn't hit for a high average for him, but they were looking for someone that catch, could throw, work with the pitchers, and Gerald's done a real good job of that with the Tigers. And over the course of the year, he'll get his hits. But they've got other guys that can hit. They're looking for him to stop the running game and be a good catcher, and he's definitely done that for him.
Pena hoisting one to right. That could have been a lot worse. It was bases loaded and nobody out. The Yankees tag Benson for only 1 in the inning. But it's 11-0. Today's Ranger game on Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. Bill Hughes continues on the mound. He has been dazzling today. The Rangers were averaging 6 runs a game in the last few ball games, but today they're being shut down completely. I'm sorry, Tag.
I was just going to say he's thrown a good game because he's had a good fastball, been around 92 miles an hour that he's been able to throw for strikes on both sides of the plate. He's thrown that pitch, a slider with success, and a real good curveball today. So all 3 pitches have worked for him. He's got real good stuff to begin with, and even though he came into the game with a 7.06 ERA, he has not pitched that way today. He's pitched like a young prospect that they count on being a big part of their rotation. Not necessarily the way he's pitched most of this season. Although in his last start, he pitched 5 innings and struck out 9 batters, gave a kind of a glimpse of what might be ahead today.
Kinzer, a wave and a miss. Baroa, by the way, stays in the game playing third. Looks like Melky Cabrera has moved to left, and Brent Gardner is in the game playing center. Fouled into the crowd of 48,914, just shy of 49,000 today, as it turns out. Standing room only. Only the opening day crowd this year any bigger. If you're looking for tickets for tomorrow's game, they are available. 972 Rangers, the number to call right now. Kevin Millwood, #1 guy in the Rangers rotation on the mound tomorrow. And if you haven't seen Derek Holland at pitch yet, you get that opportunity Wednesday. The 22-year-old lefty will be opposed by A.J. Burnett. That's the Wednesday 7:05 game. On the ground, there's Baroa. Still a 3-hitter for Hughes. We go to Dana Larson.
Well, guys, I know the score is disappointing, but don't despair. We will find a way to have a good time in the post-game show. The insightful and oddly funny Evan Grant will be with me. And also, I know Tag don't tweet, but I know a lot of you out there do, and we will answer your Twitter questions. It's Twitter/FS Southwest. That's coming your way right after the game, guys.
Thanks, Dana. Tag,
that's
don't
something
tweet.
I never heard. I never thought I'd heard Dana say. Tag, don't tweet. I never thought I'd hear anybody say that about me.
Michael Young blasting away. Gardner on the run. And it's just been that kind of day, top to bottom. 11-0 Yankees at the end of 8. Chris Davis grabbing life by the horns, brought to you by Dodge. 11-0 Yankees right now. We go to the ninth. Warner Madrigal will take over on the mound, and defensive adjustments behind him. David Murphy is in and left now. Marlon Byrd moves to center, meaning Josh Hamilton is done. And Omar Vizquel takes over at third for Michael Young. Madrigal becomes the third Ranger pitcher today. Matt Harrison went the first 5, then Benson went 3. Crowd is thinning out a little bit. Obviously with the lopsided nature of the score. And it being kind of a warm day today, some of the fans are heading on out. But boy, great crowd of just shy of 49,000 here for Memorial Day. Like the old proverb suggests, Mr. Grieve, all sunshine makes a desert. It can't be sunny all the time. You don't want that. You need just a little bit to challenge you.
Not unless you might have a good sprinkler system, though. Then you wouldn't have a desert.
Well, I know, but work with me on this one.
Oh, okay.
All right, Madrigal. Whoa, look out. Davis and Madrigal came together. Neither caught it. And we'll see how they scored, but just kind of an emblematic play, unfortunately, today for the Rangers.
It's probably a base hit.
Yeah.
As ugly as it was, I don't know how you could rule an error on it. Warner couldn't quite get to it. Chris is trying to catch it and avoid a crash with Warner. That would be an ugly sight. Those two big guys smashing together near the mound.
No Crash Davis here,
no,
but
so it wasn't pretty, but Kevin Cash is going to get a base hit on that.
And get himself a 3-hit day. Pretty sure that's the first of his big league career, because he only had 93 hits ever in the big leagues coming in today. 3 this afternoon.
He only had 1 this season. He was 1 for 17 coming into the season into the game today. What a good day for him. 3 for 5. And anytime a pitcher is pitched like Hughes has pitched, you have to give the catcher a lot of credit. So he's done a good job there too.
Credit for Cash?
Credit for Cash.
Nice.
He's done a good job. Hard to find a Yankee in this game who hasn't done a good job.
No.
11 runs on 18 hits.
It'll still be the second best start in franchise history for the Rangers at 26-18, assuming they do not come back in the ninth. And the go get him tomorrow, I'm sure will be spouted by somebody pretty soon. Tomorrow is Millwood against Chamberlain on May 27th tomorrow in the Metroplex. 7:05 first pitch. And folks, don't forget the Friday game now is Friday games. It's a doubleheader against the Oakland A's. Twilight doubleheader. Pass the mound. Elvis Andrus waits for it. Shuffle step. Throw. Got him. Double play. Two quick outs. Now Brett Gardner to hit for the first time today. Johnny Damon is done after being on base 3 times. Alfredo Aceves has gotten up in the Yankee bullpen. Hughes, by our count, is at 99 pitches. And I guess it's up to Joe Girardi. Do you want to give Hughes the opportunity to keep on keeping on, get that complete game shutout like McCarthy had for the Rangers yesterday?
It was a pretty hot day out there in the sun. I think you have to give Hughes a lot of credit for being able to go 100 pitches today and go through 8 innings. I'm sure he'd like to get the shutout.
Twisted to left field by Gardner. It's a 19-hit afternoon for the Yankees now. And we'll give Mark Teixeira a chance to swing the bat again. Tech still has a home here in the area in Westlake. But also now has purchased a home in suburban New York City and Connecticut. But it looks like it's going to be the Yankees for a while. There was a bit of a mercenary nature the last couple of years for Tex, going from the Rangers to the Braves to the Angels. But he's got what they call job security now in New York.
Well, one thing a player has the right to do, and that's to become a free agent and to go to the team you want to go to. The trades were nothing that Tex could control, but he could control where he went as a free agent, and you can't blame him for where he ended up.
He's on a team that today is winning by 11. Last shot for the Rangers when we come back. In Texas. Well, the ultimate oh well today. The Rangers with big expectations in front of the big crowd. Alfredo Aceves is in the ball game now on the mound for New York after Phil Hughes went 8 innings of 3-hit shutout ball. This guy's been quite a find for them. Middle relief had been an issue the last couple of years for the Yankees, and with Aceves, even with a 1.32 ERA, they are digging this guy in New York. Nelson Cruz had that double in the second inning and even stole a base in that second inning, but now the Rangers unable to score in that or any other inning today. Nelly Cruz trying to give the fans something to shout about. Something. He has homer to left.
Well, Nelly continues to swing the bat well. It started on the last road trip. Had a big day in Detroit. Great series in Houston. Had a good game today. He had a line shot double to right center field and a no doubt home run right there.
A dozen home runs already for Nelson Cruz. And finally the Rangers on the board. Blaylock now behind 0-1. Our Coors Light freeze cam will show you where Nelson Cruz made contact. Now back live, Blaylock chips one towards third and short. Baroa cutting in front to make the catch, or excuse me, the pickup in the throw. So there's 2 down in the 9th inning as Blaylock rounds out. 416-foot home run, we are told. Now Marlon Byrd, and he takes strike one. Royals have scored. It's now Tigers 9-1 in that game. As the Rangers now have done a little bit of cosmetic work themselves, they're on the board. The Brewers won that game against the Cardinals 1-0 in 10. Marlin strikes out, and this one